Hey everyone, welcome. Today, we are diving into a skill that is absolutely essential in our digital world: how to spot a phishing attack. In a world full of digital copies and fakes, being able to tell what's real, well, that's your single best defense. So, have you ever gotten a message just like this one? I bet your heart just stopped for a second, right? That little jolt of panic, that rush to fix the problem, that's exactly what these attackers are hoping for. But what's really happening behind these scary looking warnings?
To fight back, first, you gotta know your enemy. And in this case, the enemy is a master of disguise. They are an expert at looking like someone or something you know and trust.
So what is phishing really? Well, you can think of it as a digital con game. Attackers put on a mask, pretending to be your bank or maybe a delivery service or even your tech support. And it's all designed to do one thing: trick you into handing over your most private information. And what are they trying to get? Basically, the keys to your entire digital kingdom. We're talking about your usernames and passwords, your credit card numbers, and yeah, even those little one-time passcodes you get on your phone. They're after anything they can use to get into your accounts and ultimately steal your identity. Now, you might be thinking this is some super complex, high-tech operation, but honestly, the playbook these attackers use is often surprisingly simple. It follows a really clear, predictable pattern. Look, it's a pretty simple 5-step process. It all starts with a convincing fake message that they send straight to you. The whole point is to trick you into clicking and then entering your private details on a web page that looks totally legit. But here's the thing. Notice the weak link? This entire attack completely falls apart if that first trick doesn't work. The power is literally in your hands to break the chain right there at step 3. Okay, so phishing isn't just a one-trick pony. It has evolved over the years, and it's adapted its disguise for pretty much every platform we use, from our email inbox right down to our phones. The attack can come from anywhere. You've got your classic email phishing, which is still the most common one out there. But then there's smishing, which comes at you through a text message, and phishing happens over a phone call. Then you've got the most dangerous one of all, spear phishing, which is a super personalized attack crafted just to fool one specific person, maybe even you. So, we've defined the threat, we've seen the playbook. Now, it's time to turn the tables. How do we actually stop this? It all comes down to spotting the red flags before you take the bait. And to make this really easy, let's break down the warning signs into 2 simple categories. Think of it like a quick mental checklist. First, you've got content clues. That's what the message actually says. And second, you have technical clues. That's all about where the message comes from. Let's start with the content. See, attackers use psychology. They try to create a sense of urgency. Your account's going to be suspended, or they'll tempt you with a prize. But they're often pretty careless. So look for obvious spelling and grammar mistakes and see how it's addressed. If it just says "Dear Customer" instead of using your actual name, that is a huge red flag. Okay, now for the technical clues. Always, and I mean always, check the sender's full email address, not just their name. And before you even think about clicking a link, hover your mouse over it. You'll see the real web address it's trying to send you to. Be super wary of any attachments you weren't expecting. And just remember this: a real company will never ask you for your password or personal info over email. Period. So when you combine all these skills, you're essentially building your own personal digital shield. But why is this shield so important? Let's take a quick look at what's really at stake here. This isn't just about getting locked out of your social media account. The consequences are real and they're serious. We're talking direct financial loss from your bank account, massive data breaches, full-blown identity theft, and even damage to your personal or professional reputation. The stakes could not be higher. At the end of the day, things like firewalls and antivirus software are great. They help. But the single most effective defense against phishing is you. It's your caution, your skepticism, your vigilance. That simple pause, that one moment you take to think before you click, that is your most powerful shield. And that really just leaves us with one final thought. As technology gets better and better at making fakes and copies that look perfect, our ability to question what we see, to look for those tiny little flaws in the disguise, that becomes our most critical skill. So, how do you know what's real? You learn to look closer.